They're robbing us of value, and they're not even subtle about it anymore. $80 games are taking more and giving less, while $15 games are pouring their heart and soul to earn less than a quarter of what big studios are charging. AAA games are charging $70, $80 for what exactly? A buggy launch, live service features, a deluxe edition that lets me play a few days early. Meanwhile, $15 gets me something fun, original, and actually worth my time. Games like Balatro, Vampire Survivors, Roguebook, built by small teams or sometimes just by one guy while drinking way too much Mountain Dew. And they're eating the industry's lunch. While indie devs are rising, you are seeing Xbox lay off 9,000 staff and trying to charge you even higher prices. And it's not just about price, it's about the value, the replayability, and having developers that actually respect the player. So let's be honest, gamers are done overpaying. So here's what we're unpacking today. Why $15 games are winning, why the rising prices of games are unsustainable, and what it says about an industry that wants everything from your wallet, but is giving you less for each one of those hard-earned dollars. Let's talk about game pricing. Howdy ho, neighbors. Before we talk about games, let's talk about real life. That $80 price tag is a big ask in 2025. Groceries are up. I contemplate getting a bike every time I fill up my gas tank. And honestly, I probably should. I've been putting on some weight recently. Rent is borderline criminal, and whenever I need to grab lunch out nowadays, it's $10 with a side of emotional damage. So yeah, $80 on a game I'm not sure about. Everything else has already taken their pound of flesh, but I need value in it, not something that makes me feel like I'm being squeezed dry. And honestly, I don't even buy full price games anymore. Most of the time, the price just doesn't justify the experience. Even more so as a dad, by the time I get around to playing a game I want to play, it's a year later, which is kind of great because I can usually pick it up for 40% off. Just did that with Final Fantasy 16, by the way. Loving it. Side quests suck, but that's not what today's video is about. Anyways, back to the topic. Time is scarce, and so is disposable income. And I'm sure I'm not alone. Gamers are being selective, not because we want to be, but because we have to be. Gaming used to be a hobby, now it's a financial decision. I have a close-knit group of guys that plays together on Friday nights. And do you know what primarily dictates what we play? Price. We're not all going to drop $70 to play the new Civ 7. We're going to play a game that packs creativity, fun, and a good time into a value-packed game. That's how we landed on Chain together. 5 buckaroos. For less than a Happy Meal, we got Chain together. It's not a masterpiece, but it's affordable, co-op, and didn't require a second mortgage. Game is a blast to play too. The amount of fun and laughs we are having for $5 rivals that of $60 and $70 games. And here's the thing, it's not just cheapskates doing this, it's everyone. Because that $70 to $80 tier used to mean bangers. Now it's flooded with broken promises. Let's get real, $15 can buy you a lot nowadays. Well, AAA studios want you to chug their $70 slop like it's a fine wine. We're entering the golden age of budget bangers. $15 Balatro. My best friend swears by it. He gifted it to me actually, but I haven't had a chance to fire it up. And don't tell him because he still hasn't found my YouTube channel. I'm still working my way through Expedition 33. Anyways, Balatro is a $15 roguelike poker deck builder that has taken the gaming industry by storm, winning awards left and right, where Ben Starr accepted the Game of the Year award on the creator's behalf. $5 Vampire Survivors. For less than a burnt coffee at Starbucks, you can get this masterpiece. I picked it up for research. And let me tell you, it's fun and addicting, and this video almost didn't get made. You've been warned, it is addicting. You get that first run and think, I can beat this bullet hell. And that's the fault of all of us gamers. Saying I can beat this has led to way too many underleveled boss fights. Emotional. Anyways, Roguebook, $25 at launch, made by the creator of Magic the Gathering. Now on sale for $4. That's not a sale, that's a public service. My buddy I mentioned earlier who got me Balatro, I got him on this one, and it ate the last 2 weeks of his life. He said he loved every moment of it. Go get it while it's still on sale. You're welcome. Palworld, $30 and millions of copies sold. Pokemon with guns. It's the game we all dreamed of as 8-year-olds that Nintendo would never deliver on. Now for half the price of what Nintendo actually gives you, you finally get the game you always dreamed of. Expedition 33. made by a core team of around 25 to 30 people, priced at $50, discounted to $45 if you pre-ordered it, an actual real pre-order bonus, and more vision than the current BioWare could ever dream of. So yeah, $15 to $50 games are punching way above their weight. If tiny teams can deliver this much value for 1/10 the budget, what exactly are we paying $80 for? You ever scroll past a $70 game on Steam and think, bold of you to assume I have that kind of faith. That price tag used to mean something. Now it just means the studio probably has too much bloat and it wants you, the customer, to assume their risk and make up for their bad financial decisions. We've hit a point where $70 makes us pause and go, is it worth it? Let's take a walk down the Hall of Shame. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. $70 for a live service game that ended up costing Warner Brothers millions in losses. Skull and Bones, a pirate simulator where the only thing you plunder is your own patience. A game we all hoped would be Black Flag 2, but wasn't even close. Forspoken, a game made by the legendary Square Enix, but fails to deliver what Square Enix is known for: story and characters. And these are only 3 examples. These weren't just bad games, they were expensive bad games. They had it all: the budget, the teams, the time, but they lacked what all gamers strive for: soul. They were all beautiful games, but being a beautiful game just doesn't cut it anymore. Too many cooks, too many suits, too many execs chasing trends instead of trusting vision. We used to wait for games because they needed time. Now we wait for the reviews to drop to see if they actually delivered on their promises, to see if the game actually matches up with the trailer. We wait for the patch, the review, the inevitable discount. And studios built that mistrust. And if they want $80 from me, it better darn be the game I am playing all year long. Actually get my money's worth. And here's the thing, $70 to $80 can be worth it sometimes. Not every full-priced game is robbing us of value. Some still do earn it. Death Stranding 2 is weird, bold, handcrafted. Feels like Kojima made it alone in a cave using nothing but vibes and unresolved trauma. And honestly, that's what $70 should feel like. I want a game that makes me sit up straight, that makes me call out of work, that makes me forget to poop. Even Nintendo lists Mario Kart World at $80. Now some will argue they will get that value out of that. And power to them. If you are going to get your value out of that $80, 100% you should buy it. But the people that can buy it are not paying for other games because they are sinking most of their time into that $80 investment. They maybe buy 1 or 2 games a year, or they're not representative of the average gamer. I mean, they're definitely not representative of me. Are they representative of you? Most gamers will not be paying $80 per game. And honestly, Nintendo knows it. That's why they bundle it with the Nintendo Switch 2 to reduce the price to $50. Oldest sale tactic in the world: raise the price and discount it and call it a sale. They know it's all about value. $70 is the ceiling for good games that deliver. And if you want to charge full price in this economy, you better bring the kind of energy that makes me lose track of time and bowel movements. Here's what it comes down to: joy per dollar. Just, was it worth it? More and more, it's not. Because the studios charging the most are often the ones furthest from the fun. The bloat is killing the joy. Big studios used to feel like game developers. Now they feel like giant HR departments, afraid to offend anyone and appealing to no one. Every dev in that studio probably has a specialty, which ends up making no one responsible for how the product is actually turning out. So many middle managers, it probably takes days, if not weeks, maybe even months to get minor changes approved. But the big picture gets missed in the process. This, in my opinion, has led to the bloat in the gaming industry. Too many people that can only do one thing instead of being versatile in multiple areas. Sakurai, the man behind the Smash Bros. Series, recently lamented about this and how it has led to a lack of developers that can do multiple things. We are living in an age where it is extremely difficult to grow as a generalist. Instead, the industry is pushing towards keeping people in their roles with little hope of expansion or trying new things. There are no generalists anymore. Everyone's specialized. Nobody sees the full picture. The portfolio director at Kepler Interactive, the publisher behind Expedition 33, echoes this when talking about the studio's small size. I think keeping a core team to hold the vision and build out what the game is, and then expanding as you need to through things like outsourcing, is a very smart and sustainable way to manage game development. Big studios are not as nimble as these lean teams, which drives up cost for the studio, which they try to pass off to you. This is why prices are going up. Bloat, bureaucracy, and bad management. And studios think we will pay for their blunders. I think they are in for a wake-up call. Gamers do not see the value, and if we don't see the value, we aren't going to pay. Remember, it's JPD, joy per dollar, and I am getting it the majority of the time through these smaller, newer studios. So here we are. On one side, $15 games made by small teams and a dream. On the other, $80 cinematic disasters designed by committees. And gamers are choosing. We're not anti-AAA, we're just protecting our hard-earned dollar in this economy. Because value isn't just a number. It's how long a game stays with you after you turn it off. So whether you're diving into Balatro, surviving Vampire Survivors, or replaying Final Fantasy for the 10th time, you're not crazy. You're just a gamer who remembers what games are supposed to be. And as always,